All right, good morning, cyber traders. Welcome back on this lovely Tuesday. Was it December 1st, the first day of December? You know, it's 25 days until Christmas. I don't know if you guys were aware of that, but it is true. It is 25 days until Christmas. Good to see you all. Good to see everybody on the cyber group room. Greg, good to see you all. Dan, Andrea, good to see you. Mike, everybody here, everyone here on the YouTube Live. Just give me and Facebook. Just give me a chat back if you can hear me loud and clear. All right, good morning. Lita, good to see you all. Well, anyway, we're having a huge day right now in pre-market. One of my favorite, most touching phones I had that I was like the last of the Mohegans. BlackBerry's coming out with some great news lately. This thing has been on a tear. I got to show you a couple of things here we got going on over here. I mean, if you just look, hold on, let me just bring this over here. If you just look here on level 4, I mean, this thing just did not stop. Seller after seller after seller just getting nailed. All these iceberg orders, huge orders, 50,000, 70,000, 100,000, bam, 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 getting taken out left and right. This thing has just not stopped since 8 o'clock this morning. And I forgot who mentioned it. But somebody mentioned it early this morning in the cyber group room. Let me tell you, if it wasn't for you, I don't think any of us would have got this in the room. Other than it just started popping up. It's the biggest percentage gainer right now in the New York Stock Exchange. But this is, like I have to say, if it wasn't for phase 3, I got to do at 9:30, I would probably call it quits right now. I really would, because this is what it's all about. And you know, it's incredible. There's so many people out there, they just don't get it. That, like, well, my broker won't let me trade because of, they don't open until 9:30. Listen, that's why you got to change your broker. Since 9 o'clock this morning, since we started, going into about 4 minutes, the thing already ran about 70 cents. Well, if you bought 1,000 shares, you tell me an option of an $8,000 option trade or an $8,000 swing trade that you could make yourself $700 in 5 minutes. You know what? Now, you know what you can? Right here in day trade. But that was a great move. And you know what? There's a few more like it, which we're going to go about also. William said he made about 14 cents in about 3 seconds. Doesn't that feel cool, Wayne? Like you look at it like, oh my God, I just made that much and that fast. But you know what? Money's money at the end of the day. So just be careful. The only thing I noticed about it, which is pretty nice, and it's been doing frequently, got a little bit of a shake, but it's got some nice Fausto flags. All right. Anyway, let's talk about some of the stocks that we traded yesterday and getting ready. So anyway, yesterday was the last day of the pay period. You probably would never even think of that on a Monday. You think it's a new week. Mondays, in the last day of pay period is probably the worst day to trade. And, I was doing my statistics. I was talking to some of you. I even lost a little money on some stocks yesterday, and I knew better. I probably shouldn't trade. And, it's okay to take off. But, Mondays, especially last day pay period, nobody, wants to do anything, and nobody really wants to come out with news. There were a couple of news that did come out. I want to talk about Zoom. Zoom came out with earnings yesterday after the close, and obviously it's not doing too well. Stock was all the way up to about 478. Thing took a huge hammer all the way down to 454, and it dropped all the way to 444. So stock took a really big hit due to earnings, but we're not going to trade Zoom. Remember, we traded Zoom when it was at 160. So anyway, let's go. But there were a couple other stocks that we did trade that did really well. Riot, that one did well. Huge pop in that. Now she's starting to do a little bit of a retrace. Obviously, we know why Riot did so well. Basically, with Bitcoin, kept hitting that $20 to 20,000, 20,000, 20,000. That one did really well. And Mara was also one that trades side by side with it. But you could see now you're starting to get a little bit of a correction in some of these stocks. By the way, they're really, really volatile. They're all down about 6-7% this morning on the average. Also, that was pretty big. That did make some nice moves yesterday. All these pot stocks. Listen, they did really well yesterday. I'm just going to change this chart to see a little bit better. Yeah, the ACB, TRLY did really well. Why am I keep spelling this wrong? That one had a nice move, 8 to about $9. All those cheapies. SNDL was another one also. By the way, that was a really cheapie. She's going back on the B list. SNDL. Once again, keep an eye, guys. You know what this is. Penny stock. Very careful. But once in a blue moon, we will trade it. Now, let's talk about what's going on this morning, because there are some really good stocks that are moving. Obviously, this one's going to make the watch list, but obviously we all know about BlackBerry. BlackBerry's still holding pretty strong right here. I see a 28,000 share seller right now hovering right around $9 right now. Not a really big iceberg order, but you know, on the average, that really what it looks like, what we're getting out there. 20,000 shares at $7. You know, pretty much we're getting all that stuff right there. You can see where those icebergs are. What else that we got going on? And CAAS. Wow. This thing was also a nice little pop right in the middle of the day, but now she's kind of backing off. Found the stock right around 8 o'clock this morning, had a nice push, went from 13 to 13.50. Then it came back down, had a couple, and then I had a nice little push right around close to about 840, went from like $13 to $14. Now she's backing off. I was looking over here on level 4, and there is an iceberg order right now for about 18,000. Bring this over to you so you can see it. He's right around there. You can see an iceberg orders right there. And you could see that had resistance levels around 14. There's about close to 15,000 shares out there. You could see him. Where is he? Yeah, you can see him right here on level 3. Right here, you got 19,000 right there for 13. And what was that resistance at $14? I got to scroll up. Yeah, he's not here. He's probably trading on another exchange. Probably on one of the different exchanges. But we know that's where the support and resistance levels on that one. That one we did pretty decent. And then Mara obviously is going back on the watch list. I want to keep an eye on that one. That one took a little bit of a hit, but had a nice little bounce in pre-market. She's backing off. You know what? I might scratch this and put it on the B list. Okay, write that down on the B list. All right, let's go hop on the B list. And we all know, don't neglect and don't, take the B list for granted. Sometimes they turn to the A list, but they are the ones that are the long shots. All right. We all know about long shots. So this one, another penny stock, but she is gapped up about 50%. Nice spread, nice tier sizes. Everything looks good right there. CRBP is another one that showed up this morning on my radar, up 27%, 6 million shares. But it is an algo stock. You got a lot. Look at those orders, 20,000s, 30,000s. So if you're an advanced trader, you could trade several thousand shares of the stock and you could do pretty well. LI, we all remember about LI. LI gapped up this morning, doing really well. Nice little trend up right there. HEXO also going to go on the sleeper list. Once again, another penny list, I think that pretty much does it. And we had the SNDL. That one also, like I said, they're all pretty much penny list, so penny stock. So a little bit cautious on the first day of the market. Now, I just want to bring up a couple of swing trades because remember, we do swing trade here, okay? And we do some options. So please don't discourage and say, oh, we only day trade. No, I say it time and time again. You want to be a good swing trader, you damn well better learn how to day trade. And let me tell you something, Nikola, okay? NKLA. I took a little bit of a hit. I made money on Nikola, okay? I made money right here on Nikola. You can see it right here. We bought it all around 22. Started going up right around here. And then we had a nice run. And I was like, oh, my God, I'm making a killing. And then all of a sudden, out of one day, and it's funny, the news wasn't really out yet. And the stock went right around 37 and dropped down. I got out right around 32. And I was really ticked off because I'm like, I lost like 5 G's just like that. But I was still making money. I mean, I was still doing great. Then I looked at it and I was considering buying it back. And then the news came out yesterday. Okay. There was this really bad news about what happened with GM and, I remember the news came out regarding what really took it off is that the CEO didn't want to say that he has a deal, 100% in stone in the stock. And that really tanked the stock. And then the news really came out on it. And the stock now, you can see it's already down to 19. But let me tell you what happened yesterday. One of my best losses ever was trading this stock yesterday. And I'll tell you why. Yesterday, this stock ran. I don't know what caused it, but they came out with news. And all of a sudden, the news changed. And the stock went from 28 all the way to $40. Could you imagine if you had a buy order out there in a breakout, you got crushed. Within minutes, it dropped all the way down to 28. I got in around 31, okay? And I sold it at 30 and a half, I think. I got to check back. I lost 50 cents on that. Really ticked off because I lost it like that. If I didn't get out, the thing tanked in pre-market, went down to 22. I'm like, oh my God, what a great loss. And who really says that, you know? But one of the big things that we teach you at Cyber Trade University, and we're going to talk about in phase 3 today, you know what? You got to know when to take losses. We do not teach you how to make money here. The winners take care of themselves. It's the losers is people got to learn how to control. It's the losers that destroy you. Okay. Listen, if you're in great health and you're doing fine and you had a test, why you got to go to the doctor every week? Okay. Other than you're probably psychotic and something, you're paranoid. Listen, when you go to the doctor when you're not doing too well, when you go, when you need training, when you need help, when you got to fix those things that are causing issues, and it's losing money. And let me tell you, that was one of the best losses I had for 2020. And guess what? If I didn't get out of it, look where it is right now, down to 19. I would have got crushed on that trade. So anyway, a couple other swing trades that are doing pretty well that we did that are doing doing well is what do we have over here? So we traded. I jumped into pins. So I'm holding my pin trade. So pins obviously is breaking all-time high. That's good news. Okay. I actually sold it and I ended up buying it back like a jerk, and paying more money for it. But you know what? Whatever. You know what? One thing I hate about being a day trader, it makes you too conservative. And people are like, what? What, is that a bad? Yeah, it is. Sometimes it is. It is because, sometimes you're like always thinking about taking the money. But, that one I'm doing, that one's doing pretty well. DK and DraftKings also. That one, once it broke 52 on major resistance levels, that one's doing really well. And what else I jumped in? Oh, I jumped into Chewy. Who doesn't like animals, right? Who doesn't like their pets? Chewy obviously has been doing really, really good. And if you notice, a lot of these two to three stocks are breaking all-time highs, and that's really what you want to look at. All right. Norman says keep an eye on Kohl's Kiss. Kohl's made a nice little pop right there. Yeah, but Kohl's obviously, been on a little bit of a tear. Listen, online shopping, you have to see what happened with Black Friday and Cyber Monday. A lot of people, what's so funny? I went to Home Depot, okay? And I mean, I like going there. I like buying stuff. I like doing work around the house and gardening and whatever it is, construction, whatever it is. And I noticed, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but they didn't have any really Black Friday deals. They didn't have the 99-cent poinsettias. They didn't have anything. And I was saying, like, what happened? It's like the worst. They said, well, they're discouraging people from coming into the stores because of the coronavirus. Well, guess what? Online businesses obviously did pretty well. So I would be really interested to see how their numbers do, because there are two holidays where where Home Depot makes most and Lowe's make most of their money, on Christmas and spring. Okay, so that's obviously look like it's not going to work too well. Not a good business plan, Wade is saying. I'm telling you, if you went in there was no deals. They had nothing. They didn't want anybody to come in there. And I asked the guy, and kind of makes sense. Anyway, good luck today, guys. Listen, don't forget, if you're in the cyber group room today, after I do phase 3, which is our first lesson, and that's for gold and platinum students. If you want to get in there, if you want to upgrade here at Cyber Trade University, talk to Education Advisor. But after that, we're going to have Josh doing Traders Talk, which is our most popular event that we do here in the cyber group room. If you're watching YouTube, Facebook Live, if you want to get in there, just pay $9, do a quick trial. You get in there, enjoy us for a whole week. And then we'll be back in the afternoon for the afternoon meeting and for part 2 of phase 3. So you got a really, really busy week. And then Thursday, we're going to move our Cyber Expo to the following week. We were going to do it this Thursday, but with all the holiday stuff and sales going on, people a little chaotic. We're going to push it up till next week, but I'm still going to do open house on Thursday. All right, guys? Good luck today. Happy trading. Be safe, and let's make some money. All right? Good luck, everyone.